There comes a time when the past comes knocking, often with familiar voices and familiar pleas. Someone who once left or whom you walked away from now stands before you, asking for a second chance. It is in moments like these that wisdom must guide your steps, not mere sentiment. Before you answer, before you let emotions blur reason, ask them these 5 questions. The value of self-respect is the foundation upon which every meaningful relationship is built. It is not arrogance, nor is it pride. It is the understanding that your worth is not defined by the opinions, actions, or choices of another. When someone who once left or mistreated you returns, asking for another chance, the question is not only about their intentions, but also about your own sense of self-worth. If you do not honor yourself first, you risk allowing the same pain to repeat itself. A person who respects themselves does not accept love out of desperation or loneliness. They do not confuse affection with necessity. If someone wants to come back into your life, the first thing to examine is whether allowing them in aligns with the dignity and respect you owe yourself. If their presence requires you to lower your standards, overlook past wounds without true healing, or compromise your peace, then the cost is too great. Love should never come at the expense of your self-worth. The way people treat you is often a reflection of what you allow. If someone left you once without considering the depth of their actions, they believed on some level that you would always be there, waiting. If they return, it is not enough that they miss you. They must understand what they took for granted. If they have not truly grasped the impact of their departure, if they do not see you with newfound appreciation and remorse, then their return is not about love. It is about their own unresolved emotions. A person who respects themselves does not open the door for someone who has not learned to knock with humility. Time apart should bring growth, not just longing. If someone wants you back but has done nothing to become a better version of themselves, what reason is there to believe things will be different? Feelings alone are not enough. Words alone are not enough. If they respect you, they will show it through consistent effort, not momentary regret. They will not merely say they have changed, they will prove it without needing to be asked. A person with self-respect understands that they deserve love that is certain, not love that is uncertain until it is lost. One of the greatest dangers of disregarding your own worth is mistaking familiarity for love. When someone returns, the temptation is strong to focus on the good memories, the moments of connection, the emotions that once made them feel like home. But self-respect demands that you look beyond nostalgia and ask yourself, does this person truly deserve access to me again? Are they returning because they recognize my value or because they fear facing the consequences of losing me? A person who respects themselves does not accept a love that is convenient for the other person. They do not become an option for someone who once treated them as disposable. They understand that forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. Just because you have healed does not mean you must reopen the door to someone who once caused your wounds. Respecting yourself means recognizing that not every plea for a second chance is genuine, and not every return is a sign of true love. It is understanding that someone's desire to come back does not override your right to protect your peace. You do not owe anyone a place in your life simply because they now realize what they lost. True self-respect is the ability to stand firm in the belief that you are worthy of love that does not need to be earned a second time. Lessons from the past are the greatest teachers we will ever have, and ignoring them is one of the surest ways to repeat the same mistakes. When someone who once left or hurt you wants to return, the past is not something to be dismissed or buried. It is something to be examined with clarity and honesty. Every action, every decision, every painful moment holds a lesson. If they have not learned from what happened before, then there is no reason to believe the outcome will be any different this time. A person's willingness to acknowledge the past is a reflection of their character. If they minimize their mistakes, if they excuse their behavior, if they try to rewrite history to make themselves seem blameless, they have not truly grown. True growth comes from taking responsibility, from recognizing where they went wrong, and from showing a deep understanding of the hurt they caused. Anything less is just an attempt to move forward without addressing the real issue. And if they cannot acknowledge the past with honesty, they are not ready for a future with you. Memories can be deceptive, especially when emotions are involved. Time has a way of softening the sharp edges of pain, making it easy to remember only the good moments. But if the past carried deep wounds, those wounds cannot be ignored just because time has passed. It is not about holding grudges or refusing to forgive. It is about ensuring that what hurt you before does not have the chance to hurt you again. The past does not have to define you, but it should guide you. If someone truly values another chance, they will prove through their actions that they have learned what went wrong before and that they will not make the same mistakes again. People do not change just because they say they have. Change is not found in words. It is found in actions, in choices, in the way they show up differently than they did before. The past should be a roadmap, revealing whether someone is truly different or if they are merely saying what they think you want to hear. It is easy to apologize, to make promises, to speak of regret, but the true test is in whether they have done the inner work necessary to be the kind of person who will not repeat their old patterns. Without that work, history will repeat itself. Not every lesson from the past is meant to lead to reconciliation. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is knowing that a chapter is meant to remain closed. The past exists to teach, to shape, to reveal truths that may have been hidden in the moment. If the lesson learned is that someone is incapable of being the kind of person you deserve, then taking them back is not an act of love, it is an act of self-betrayal. Learning from the past means having the courage to walk away when necessary, to recognize that some people are better left as memories rather than as present realities. The way someone speaks about the past will tell you everything you need to know. If they focus only on their pain and not on yours, if they speak as if things just happen rather than acknowledging the choices they made, if they expect forgiveness without true atonement, then they have not learned the lesson. Growth is not just about regret, it is about transformation. Without transformation, the past is doomed to repeat itself. And if you have learned anything from what has already happened, it should be that your peace, your heart, and your future are too valuable to be placed in the hands of someone who has not truly learned from the past. True intentions are not always spoken aloud, but they are always present in a person's actions, their timing, and the way they return when it suits them. When someone comes back asking for another chance, the most important question is not what they say, it is why they are saying it now. Are they coming back because they truly see your worth, or are they returning out of loneliness, regret, or a need for comfort? Love should never be built on convenience, nor should it be rekindled simply because someone fears being alone. People often want back what they once took for granted, not because they have changed, but because they now realize what they lost. The real test is whether their return is about you or about themselves. A person who truly values you will not come back with empty words or promises. They will come back with proof of growth, with a willingness to rebuild trust, and with the understanding that they are asking for something they once threw away. If their return is simply about filling a void in their life, they will not be able to sustain their efforts. The moment their needs are met, or the moment something else distracts them, they will leave again. Love is not something that should be pursued out of fear. If someone only realizes your value when they face loss, their love is not based on deep appreciation, but on the discomfort of missing what was once easy to access. It is easy to want something when it is gone. It is easy to desire connection when loneliness sets in. But real love is not about what is easy. It is about commitment, about seeing a person's worth even when there is no fear of losing them. If someone truly values you, they will have shown it long before the thought of losing you became real to them. The sincerity of a person's intentions is revealed in what they are willing to do, not just in what they say. Words can be rehearsed, apologies can be spoken without true remorse, and promises can be made without the intention of keeping them. But effort, consistency, and change cannot be faked over time. If they say they want you back, but their actions do not reflect genuine commitment, then their return is not about love. It is about their own emotional needs. A person who is sincere does not expect trust to be handed back easily. They work to earn it. They do not make excuses for the past. They take full responsibility. They do not just say they love you. They show it through patience, effort, and respect. The danger of mistaking false intentions for true love is that it leads to the same heartbreak repeating itself. If someone returns but has not changed their patterns, the cycle will continue. They will leave when it is convenient for them. They will return when they need something, and in the end you will find yourself in the same place, wondering why you allowed them back in. Recognizing true intentions is about looking beyond the words and focusing on what is real. If they truly love and respect you, their return will not be rushed, desperate, or demanding. It will be steady, patient, and filled with the understanding that they are asking for something precious. When someone returns, they should not only want to be with you, but they should also be ready to give something meaningful to the relationship. If they cannot answer why they are back in a way that shows true growth and appreciation, then their return is not about love. It is about their own desires. And love, real love, is never about what one person needs. It is about what both people can build together. Trust is not something that can be repaired with words alone. It is built through actions, through consistency, through the quiet reassurance that a person's promises align with their behavior. When someone who once broke your trust returns asking for another chance, the most important question is not whether they want to be forgiven, but whether they have done the necessary work to rebuild what was lost. Trust is fragile. It takes time to earn, but can be shattered in a single moment. Once broken, it does not simply return because someone wishes it would. It must be restored through patience, honesty, and an unwavering commitment to doing better. Trust cannot exist where there is doubt. If their words feel empty, if their actions seem rushed, if they are more focused on convincing you to move forward than they are on addressing what went wrong, then the foundation of trust is still cracked. True accountability means taking responsibility without defensiveness, without justification, and without demanding immediate forgiveness. Someone who truly understands the value of trust does not ask for it to be handed back freely. They understand that it must be rebuilt over time. If they are unwilling to go through that process, they are not ready to return. A promise to change is not the same as proof of change. Someone who broke your trust before may say all the right things, but trust is not rebuilt in a single conversation. It is rebuilt through showing up consistently, through making choices that align with their words, through demonstrating that their actions are no longer dictated by selfishness or carelessness. If they truly understand the damage they caused, they will not rush the process. They will not demand blind faith. They will give you the space and the time to believe in them again, not because they ask you to, but because they show you that they are worthy of it. Trust is not about forgetting the past. It is about ensuring the past does not repeat itself. If someone wants a second chance but refuses to acknowledge the depth of the hurt they caused, they are not ready to be trusted again. If they minimize their actions, if they shift blame, if they act as though the past should simply be erased, they are not interested in rebuilding trust. They are interested in avoiding accountability. True remorse is shown through effort, through patience, through the willingness to accept that trust will not be immediate, nor should it be. Trust is also about intuition. If something feels off, if their return feels more like a performance than a genuine attempt to do better, that feeling should not be ignored. The body and mind remember what words try to cover up. If their presence brings more anxiety than comfort, if their reassurances feel rehearsed, if their attempts to rebuild trust feel like an obligation rather than a sincere effort, then something is missing. Trust is felt just as much as it is proven. If doubt lingers, it is worth questioning why. A person who is truly ready to be trusted again understands that the process is not on their terms, it is on yours. They do not push you to move faster than you are ready. They do not make you feel guilty for still having doubts. They do not expect you to act as if nothing happened. Instead, they stand in the discomfort of rebuilding what they once damaged. They accept that their past actions have consequences, and they prove through their commitment, consistency, and patience that they are worthy of a second chance. Trust is not given freely, it is earned. If they are not willing to earn it, they are not ready to have it. Love is not meant to be a battlefield where one person constantly proves their worth while the other decides whether they are deserving. A relationship should not be a place of uncertainty, where one person is made to feel as though they must earn the affection of another. When someone returns asking to be let back in, the question is not only whether they have changed, but whether they ever truly valued you in the first place. If they left easily, if they treated your love as something replaceable, if they return now only because life without you has been difficult, then what they seek is not love, it is comfort. Love is not about filling a void, it is about seeing and appreciating someone fully, even when the choice to stay is not the easiest one. Love should never be built on fear, the fear of being alone, the fear of missing out, or the fear of regret. If someone is only returning because they have realized what they lost, then their love is rooted in absence rather than appreciation. The person who truly values you does not need to lose you to recognize your worth. They see it in every moment, in every interaction, in the quiet understanding that love is not something to be tested or taken for granted. Love that must be proven, begged for, or constantly reaffirmed is not love. It is a transaction, one in which the giver is left depleted while the receiver takes without consideration. Love that requires you to shrink yourself, to compromise your happiness, to prove again and again that you are worth staying for is not love at all. It is a power struggle. When someone returns, you must ask whether their presence enhances your life or merely disrupts it. Love should bring peace, not confusion. It should feel like stability, not uncertainty. If their return makes you question your value, if it makes you feel like you must fight to keep them interested, then what they are offering is not love. It is a temporary need to soothe their own emotions. Real love does not need to be chased. It is given freely, without conditions or expiration dates. A person who loves you does not walk away easily. They do not need distance to see your value. They do not treat you as an option, returning only when it is convenient for them. If they had to lose you to realize what they had, then their love was never built on respect. It was built on assumption that you would always be there, assumption that your love would remain despite their actions, assumption that they could come and go as they pleased. Love should never be a guessing game where one person is left wondering if they are enough. The person who truly loves you does not put you in a position where you must question their devotion. Love is not proven by grand gestures, by words spoken in moments of desperation, or by apologies meant to erase the past. It is proven in the way someone chooses to stay, to support, to cherish, even when circumstances are not perfect. A person who loves you does not need to see life without you to know they want to be with you. They do not need to experience loss to understand your worth. They do not return because they are lonely, because they are regretful, or because they now see what they took for granted. They stay because they recognize in every moment that love is not something to gamble with. They stay because they know that love is not about finding comfort. It is about choosing every single day to honor the person they love. When someone who once left you returns, the real question is not whether they miss you, but whether they have truly changed. Love, trust, and respect are not things to be taken lightly, and they should never be given back without careful thought. If they walked away easily, if they treated you as replaceable, if they only now realized your worth, then their return is not about love. It is about regret. True love does not require loss to be understood, and trust is not rebuilt with words alone. You deserve a love that is certain, a trust that is unwavering, and a commitment that does not waver when things get difficult. If they are not willing to prove their growth through consistent action, then their return means nothing. Never settle for someone who only values you when it is convenient for them. You are worth more than a second thought.